I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Hello, sorry we've been gone for so long. We've been busy with prepping for Comic-Con Africa and everything in between. But I'm going to do a small little experiment. We're going to do a Magneto helmet for a client. I was not happy with the way it primed. So what we're going to do is I already sanded it once, gave it another acetone layer. And then what we're going to do is we are going to try body filler. A lot of people I follow, including Punish Props, Lightning Cosplay, all of those, use body filler on their props. We've never tried it on ABS, so let's see what happens. I'm going to quickly show you guys what it looks like just acetone. So this is the helmet. As you can see there, all of that paint marks are low marks on the helmet. I am not very happy with that. Cannot give this to anybody except a dustbin. Especially here on the top, you'll see there's two very distinct grooves. There and there. Now I tried here already with the baby powder and super glue method, but it doesn't really cover it. I'm just going to hold it up so you guys can see there. You can see a little bit of a bump there. I see that's not what Magneto's helmet looks like. So I'm going to sand this down again to get all the shiny off, and that will show me the low spots. And then we can try and do this body filler thing. So this is the lightweight body filler. It uses a 3 to 4 centimeters per 1 dessert spoon, and that is the official directions of this ultra light body filler. So we'll see how it works, and yeah, I'm gonna give a little montage of sanding because it's so exciting. Enjoy. Thank you. Okay, well, welcome back. What we're going to be using to sand this guy is I've got two separate mouse sanders. Normal little guy with a 120 grit sandpaper on here. I've got a second mouse sander with a little extender tool. This is 120 grit, this is 200 grit. So we're going to see how we can get those low spots and the high spots out to show. So as you can see here, it's very, very shiny. Once you hit it with the sander, which is extremely noisy. Okay, I'm just going to come stand here so you can see that I show you guys properly. See, there, it is very, very matte, but there, it is still very shiny. So those are all the low spots that we need to fill in. So, let's get sanding this helmet. has a very rough texture, which is awesome. That is what we want. We want this to be able to have gripping, or have a place for the body filler to grip on. Now if you can dust this off here, you can see it's very smooth, but there's a few shiny pieces. Now that's what we call low spots. So in the printing and assembly part, because it does not come out this smooth, it comes out very liney, like you can see there on the inside. That's also going to be fixed, so that's another video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prepare the body filler, fill in all of the low spots here. You always fill it up above the line of where you want it, because you're going to sand it down evenly. And yeah, I will see you guys in a few minutes. Let me get everything right. It's going to take me about 15 minutes. It's going to be about 2 seconds for you, so well, enjoy. Okay, welcome back. So let's see how this hardener is going to work. Now the directions are clearish. And I'm saying clearish because I used to study hotel. So you get stuff like teaspoons, tablespoons. That's the wording I'm used to. Now the wording on this ultralight body filler, the directions is 3 to 4 centimeters of hardener to 1 dessert spoon of body filler, which is very strange for me. But let's see how this turns out. Okay, so first we need to pop this open, so we're going to need a screwdriver, which I do not have, so we're going to use pliers. I also put on some gloves, because it's always a good idea to actually wear protective gear. Okay, I am in a well ventilated area as well. The office is quite big, so I should be safe for that. Unfortunately, I do not have a respirator, and the dust masks aren't really going to do anything for this. So we're going to gamble a little bit. But do what I say, don't do what I do. Okay, so now we need to mix this, because it does look extremely yucky. Let's see what can we find in the office. Okay, we're going to use this. And we're mixing. It's almost like well-needed press stick, the consistency. Okay, that's interesting substance. Smells really bad. Okay, I'll clean this just now. Okay, so we're going to use, I've got some cardboard material that I'm going to use as my mixing pot. So that's about 1 teaspoon. We need a tablespoon plus minus. So there we go. That's a decent amount. And then they call for 3 to 4 centimeters of hardener. Okay, so we're going to do that's 1, 2, 3, a little bit extra. Now we mix this. Now normally you've got about 10 to 15 minutes working time, and it will start hardening on you. So what you want to do is get your mixing in properly. Come at this with a game plan. So what I'm going to do, the first plan of action, is the top of the helmet here and here, and the back here was not 100% to my liking. What I also use, I use this brush just to clean off the excess dust. Okay, back to mixing our body filler. Now luckily for me it is winter, so it's quite cold in the garage. The body filler actually hardens a lot quicker with heat. So it gives you a thermal reaction. It starts heating up, almost like resin. So you can see this is nicely mixed in. So what they actually suggest you use is you get a putty knife or it's a small plastic card that's made for body filler. but I've got a lot of these tiny presses, so I'm using that. Okay, I believe this is nicely mixed in. Okay, so we are going to apply a thin coat. What you want to do is when you put it on, push it in. You basically want to push down, because that forces it into all the small little holes. Make sure that it has nice contact everywhere. I'm just going to fill this up, and don't worry about doing it. They actually suggest that you do it a little bit higher, because you are going to sand it. That way you don't sand away too much of your prop. And body filler will actually work with foam as well. Just takes a little bit. It's half an hour curing time, just to be safe. You always make sure you have extra, make sure it's nice and hard. You don't want to start sanding it and it's all gooey in the bottom. Okay, I can actually feel this starting to set already. So as you can see, I am definitely not proficient at adding body filler, which is well known fact. I have actually worked on a few cars before. So just smooth this out a little bit. Scrape off the excess, because we do not want to waste any of this. Let's see here. I can also apply on the faceplate a bit. I wasn't 100% happy with how that looked. A little bit on this area here where the joint is. You can see that I filled it in with the 3D pen, but it's not 100% accurate. You always have little air bubbles that get trapped and you don't completely get them out. So this, if this experiment works, which it should, it will make life a lot easier and also a lot neater. I like doing, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to our props, because it is our name on it and you want your customers to be happy. I'm going to scrape a little bit off here. I'm actually going to make another batch. A lot of small little holes that I would like to fill up that I'm not 100% happy with. Like I said, you wouldn't notice it if you didn't know it was there, but I know it's there, so I am not happy with that. Just fill in all the small little pockets. Now what happens is, yes, 3D printing is very accurate. You do get, we're going to chuck this one, a very good model out, but there's always things that you cannot account for. Like this one was printed, it was a very nice model, but the way they made it, the head seam didn't actually glue together perfectly. So we had to angle it a little bit, move it around, fill it in with the 3D printing pen. A lot of sanding, so it left a little bit of dents and seam lines, which I'd like to get rid of. I'm going to close this up. Okay, so now, sorry about that. Let's quickly add the hardener to this. You don't have to hurry. If the hardener is not added, it's obviously not going to react. 3 to 4 centimeters. And we mix. Now the thing with the hardener and the body filler, if you put in too little, it'll take a long time to cure, if it cures. If you put in too much, it'll literally start hardening while you mix. You don't want that. You can see here the color difference already. That one has started to set quite nicely. Just mix this in. So we can get all the small little details gone. And the nice thing with using body filler is it sands 100% smooth. Well, it's mainly used on car parts, so you can imagine you don't get your car back from a panel beater after a dent and you can see where the damage was. Not if it was done properly. So in theory this should work for props. Okay, so that is nicely mixed in. Bunch of it together and let's continue the filling process. There's a nice little seam line there I want to get rid of. Not nice, but okay. And as you can see, I am not being careful. I am putting on a lot. Because sand it off when you know we're safe. Rather too much than too little. Okay, back here there's a little spot there. So no, this is me just being full of nonsense. I know it's there and it's bugging me. Okay, so we're just going to inspect it. See where we want to add some more body filler, filling in all these little holes, trying to push hard to make sure if there is separation of any kind, you get to fill it in. And the back here, the model is a little bit flawed on this back little lip on the neck. I had to do some editing and fortunately it didn't line up 100%. Yeah, nice thick layer there. A little bit of a hole there to fill in. Got a little bit excited with the mouse sander. Okay. It's a very tedious job. It's actually quite relaxing. Because you know after it's dried and you get to sand it, you have accomplished something. You took something that annoyed you and you made it nice and smooth. So this is definitely not something that you want to do if you do not have a lot of patience. Okay, this is starting to set really quickly. As you can see, this is basically like putty now. It's already started the hardening process. I'm just trying to get these last few ones nicely in there. Okay, I believe that that is actually everything I wanted to do. As you can see, this side, hard. This side, if I take this to it, you can actually see it crumble, it's starting to harden. It's no more gooey, it's leaving a fine dust. You can see that. So that's done. There's nothing more you can do. Once it starts hardening, it's done. If you made a oopsie, you go back and you clean it up. Okay, so we're going to leave this to set and I'll be back once it's dry. You can sand it, give it a nice primer layer, start off with a nice mirror finish on it, and it will be almost there. So I think this will be a successful experiment. Stay tuned for more.
One eternity later.
It has been about 15-20 minutes. I went to go make myself a nice cup of coffee. Just going to put this one here, because our next part is not going to be inducive to open cups of coffee. What you'll need for now, trusty mouse sander. pair of gloves. Most important, a respirator or face mask, because body filler is amazing, but it gives off an extremely fine dust that you do not want in your lungs. So make sure you have got a nice dust mask. This one I used already when I was painting, but it is still good. So excuse the muffled voice. Nicely closed off, ready for the sanding. So let's see how this turns out. Just to show you guys, I'm not saying fine dust, I meant fine dust. It is horrible and it gets everywhere. But I'm hoping the camera picks it up. There you can see, low spot, filled in. Looking awesome. So this is definitely working so far. Let's continue. So the reason I pack it on like this, you guys could see I made a slosh on the top of this. And yes, that's a technical term. I did the same here. There's a small hole there. After primer, no one will ever know there was a hole there. That is a perfectly smooth, ready surface. Now what I did see, there might be a little bit of pieces like there, where I need to just add on. Possibly. Just need to give it another sanding quick, but body filler sticks to body filler. So if you do need to patch up, like here where it hardened, add a little hole. Mix up a little bit extra, fill it in. We might have to do that. But yeah, and you can do this without a mouth sander if you've got just straight sandpaper, or at builders, any of your local warehouses, building supplies, car shops, anything like that. They have these nice little sanding blocks. That's a foam block covered in sandpaper. That'll work just as well. I'm just lucky that I have got 2 of these, and I normally go through about 3 of these a year. So always good to have a mouth sander. But back to sanding. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but you see that I jump around a lot. I'm not doing this because I'm getting bored, which it can be very tedious doing this. I'm doing this because yes, ABS is a very rigid material. Too much constant heat on one point will start warping and melting it. So take your time. Go from spot to spot, make sure you get everything the way you want it. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. Magneto's helmet was not finished in 2 hours. This is weeks of work. So be patient. Take your time. Make sure you're happy with the finish. Like here you can see, there, it looks amazing. There, I still need some sanding. There, I'm definitely going to have to fill in. I missed some air bubbles there. Probably from when I was applying it, I didn't do it smooth enough. Hey, it's a learning curve. So most of the dust off of the prop and onto me. Let's continue.
Clue. Apparently we ran out of battery on the big camera, so it didn't get everything. Okay, well, the Bondo Poly body filler was a success. It came out really nicely. I'll add some pictures and of the finished product, and I'll also upload once it's painted to our Facebook and Instagram page. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the night inning. There ain't no point in resisting.